My name is Dave Phillips, and for the past 25 years I have been hunting for answers to my paranormal questions. Now I have switched up my game to hunting history. This is Forgotten History. What's up, guys? My name is Dave Phillips. I am part of the Leffingwell House Museum, Founding Fathers of Norwich, and today we are going to be talking about Benedict Arnold. When you think of the American Revolution, most people think of Paul Revere and his ride letting everyone know the British are coming. You think of the Old North Church with the one if by land, two if by sea lanterns letting people know where the British are coming from. You also think of George Washington and his great leadership, and John Hancock and his gigantic signature at the bottom of the Declaration of Independence. But today we are going to be talking about this man. January 14, 1741, Benedict Arnold was born in this land. In this house. Although his original house does not stand, there is a plaque to commemorate his birthplace. This is the plaque. There was also a street named after him. Here is the street name. We are in the Leffingwell House Museum. Built in 1675, this house has gone through numerous changes throughout the years, but we are in the original tavern room, which is the first floor. At this point, hardship had hit the Arnold family quite hard. Benedict's father had turned to alcohol at this point, being arrested several times and threatened with excommunication from the town and the church. It was a young Benedict Arnold who on a daily basis would have to fetch his father from this very room and bring him back home because he was too drunk to walk. The Leffingwell House Museum has a few of Benedict Arnold's items. We have one of his pictures here. This is a reprint of a picture. You notice here, if you can see it, that he is in his blue outfit. Benedict was never painted with his red outfit on, or his red coat. This is not one of Benedict's. This is not a reproduction. This is just a red coat draped over his picture. Now here, we do have a key. Now this, at one point, went to the Arnold's front door. And this piece of wood here is the last surviving piece, or the last remaining piece of wood that is left of his original house. His house has been struck by lightning and burnt down a few times. It is a well-known fact that history is written by the winners, and Benedict Arnold's history will go down in infamy as being the traitor. So right now we're going to head over to the Lathrop Manor where Benedict Arnold learned his apothecary trade. Now across the street here is the actual apothecary, and this big red house is Lathrop Manor. They were cousins of Benedict Arnold's mother, who took him in as an indentured servant to learn a trade so he could pretty much provide for the remainder of his family. So again, this is the apothecary where Benedict Arnold learned his trade, and this is the house here that he stayed in. We are in the old Norwich Town Cemetery, where in 1759, Benedict Arnold stood in this spot by this plaque and watched his mother buried into the ground. Now, along with his mother, we do have his entire family minus his younger sister Hannah. Benedict Arnold was the second of 6, but only one of 2 to survive. Now these headstones behind me, if you've noticed, there are only 3 here out of the 6 that should be buried here. Now, when Benedict Arnold traded to the British, anything with his name on it was discarded and gotten rid of. Nobody wanted to be associated with a traitor. So missing are his father's headstone and Benedict IV's headstone, which would have been his oldest brother who died in infancy. We do, however, still have Elizabeth's headstone and Mary's headstone. Now, along with Benedict Arnold standing here, he also paid for his mother's funeral and wrote the epitaph on his mother's grave, where it says she was the pattern of patience and piety. Now, Benedict Arnold himself was the second of 6 children, but only one of 2 to survive. It was himself and his younger sister Hannah that survived until adulthood. So his brothers and sisters that are laid here to rest are Ben the Fourth, Absalom, Mary, Elizabeth, and Hannah is actually buried in Canada. Thank you all so much for watching my episode on Benedict Arnold, and I will see you in future episodes. Until then, this is Dave.